Hello guys and welcome to my channel, Blissfully Single Bean. I'm your homegirl Bean, and yes, I am your blissfully single one. Child, I'm your blissfully single and crazy one. My house is closing next Tuesday, which means I got by the time my real estate attorney told me, I had all of 3 days to order a dumpster and trash the rest of my stuff. So it's been a crazy weekend for me. I am gonna vlog about it, so I would appreciate if you guys, if this is your first time here, please like, comment, and subscribe, and please hit that notification button. So as soon as my vlog goes up about the craziness surrounding having to pack and throw everything out and transition, to Atlanta, in 3 days, I would appreciate it. Help a sister out. But yes, all right. So the episode opens up with Tiffany and her messy ass telling Destiny that she knew her ex-husband in the most messiest way imaginable. Destiny goes to the bathroom to collect herself. And then Tiffany in her confessional says, I don't know what I did wrong. I was just trying to use a reference point to show her that we know each other. Bitch. That wasn't a reference point. That was shade. That was doing too much. And that was being mean. I'm anti-mean girl up in here. So, Tiffany, girl, I don't like you. Destiny's in the bathroom trying to woosa. One of her homegirls is checking up on her. And Destiny's explaining, listen, I'm divorced, but there's still some hurt feelings there. And of course, you would understand that as a woman. Or would you, Tiffany? So Destiny's getting herself together. She comes back to the table to sit with the girls. And where I'm looking at Destiny, girl, no. Destiny continues on the conversation with Tiffany. And I would not have done that. Obviously, Tiffany telling Destiny this information, this tea, is bringing Destiny back to a place that she doesn't want to go to because emotions are still raw. So why are you still having this conversation? That was my biggest thing. Why are you still having this conversation? Anyway, brunch goes on and it ends on a good note. And the biggest thing that I can pick up from this brunch that was really, really cute is when they were talking about the evolution of Destiny and Kimmi's relationship, because they did not like each other at first. These personalities did not mesh. Kimmi, said something crazy about Destiny's ex regarding fried chicken, and Destiny didn't take it well. But anyway, I say all this to say the ladies are in such a better space. And even when they were going through their back and forth, everybody who knew them said, Kimmi, Destiny, you guys really have the same personality. You guys just haven't settled in to know exactly who each other is. So you guys are going head to head. But Kimmi in her confessional said, they were right. We have very similar personalities. And when we started to accept that, Kimmi said, child, Destiny is like my sister from another mister. And it was really nice seeing that growth and progression. All right, Kimmi Cakes. Destiny, I like you too, girl. So Letitia gets to Houston before Marceau because they have this kickoff for their chocolate champagne, which sounds absolutely amazing. Champagne with hints of chocolate. That sounds so decadent. I really wish that they're selling direct to consumer online so that I can get my hands on it, because as delicious as it sounds, ain't nobody driving up to Alabama, Houston, or wherever to get it. So I'm hoping it's easily accessible to me, because that just sounds so pop bottles kind of delicious. But anyway, Letitia made it to Houston before Marceau did, and Marceau says, I had business to wrap up before I could make it down to Houston. I hope Letitia doesn't mind. Meanwhile, Letitia was getting ready to get it popping. Letitia was planning the surprise for Marceau. She had the black negligee on. She had the champagne, the strawberries dipped in chocolate. She was ready. She was ready to get it in and to reignite that passion, in their marriage. So Letitia opens the door looking scrumptious in her, her negligee. And Marceau's like, oh, wow. Oh, this is what I wasn't expecting this, but I'll take it. That energy to me was off. It was off. And then as we see the scene go on, like Letitia's getting ready, like Letitia wants to say, listen. Letitia's saying, listen, this is all for you. It's all for you. Shout out to Janet Jackson. Letitia's ready to go. And Marceau's energy is just so, Letitia tried and it fell flat because the last thing that was on Marceau's mind was enjoying his wife. It's like, Letitia, you have to understand, this is a work trip. You know, this is not pleasure. And yes, I understand that, but surely your wife of 15 years can incorporate some freaky, deaky time. He wasn't interested. And I'm watching this scene like, Letitia, the punani, the cooch, the vag, it's kryptonite for men. So for you to be throwing that vag to Marceau, and for Marceau not to immediately walk into that hotel room, pin you up against the wall, slide your panties off, and do his due diligence as a husband, there should be warning signs going off. Letitia, a guy who acts like that, listen, I'm not judging or I'm not saying what is what, but a guy who acts like that, who acts nonchalant about his wife just wanting to do something really, you know, sensual and sexual and wanting to enjoy you, in my opinion, he's enjoying someone else. And he's just, I gotta be honest. To me, looking at this scene, it seems like it feels like he's already dealing with somebody else and you are not what he has an appetite for, which as Letitia being his wife is effing disgusting. But Letitia, open your eyes. There is something very seriously wrong right now. And I hope she recognizes this and acts upon this. But the last few seasons, getting to know Letitia on Love and Marriage Huntsville, I don't think it's registering. All right, we'll see. There's still more season to go. Kimmi talks to Maurice about the brunch that Destiny had and the Tiffany situation. And Kimmi, who is an extraordinary communicator, said straight up, listen, Tiffany's coming at me about Monster vaping in the bathroom. I was caught off guard. Did you know that Monster was vaping in the bathroom? And if you knew that, why didn't you say something? Why didn't you give me the heads up? And Maurice says, listen, I don't even know Tiffany like that. I don't know Tiffany and her husband. Like, I don't know them like that. But you coming back, telling me something like this shows me like Tiffany is not the type of person that I'm going to like. First of all, where do you know us from to bring up this conversation? I understand, Maurice. This is about a child. This is about a child. And Maurice is like, listen, if you're going to come and give some tea about a child that you don't know, about a situation that you know nothing about, let me hear your tea. What's your tea? And Maurice, I agree with you on that end. And then thirdly, Maurice didn't appreciate the fact that she told this to the group because you're painting Monster as some kind of juvenile delinquent. When Monster's a good kid, but you know, good kids get caught up and that was the situation. But Kimmi and Maurice get into this bigger situation about understanding balance and understanding how to give your family as much time, or actually prioritizing your family over work and all that, you know, that extra stuff. And lastly, in this scene, Kimmi says, listen, I don't feel like my input is valued. I feel like, because Maurice did eventually say, yes, I knew about the vaping. I spoke with his mom, with Kaira, about the vaping. And, you know, we had this conversation and Kimmi says, I would have liked to be a part of that conversation. And she's your wife. She's your wife, and she's she's done some work in helping to rear Monster. Hell, she's allowed Monster to come into your home, into your space as part of the family when she done raised her child. Her child was grown. So I think Maurice was wrong. I think Maurice should have had that conversation. Yeah, of course you have it with the child's mom, but you have it with Kimmi as well. Why are you leaving Kimmi out? And to that point, Kimmi says, I do not believe that you value my input. I don't feel like you've ever valued my input. And she says that in her confessional. Maurice has the conversations he wants to have with me. He picks and chooses. But as far as letting me in to everything, every aspect, he does not do it. And Kimmi, as much as I love me some Kimmi, there are problems in this marriage that need to be addressed. And this is coming from where I'm coming from as a viewer of 45 minutes every Friday for the next 10 weeks. Just saying. Letitia and Marceau, while they're in Houston, they meet up with Marceau's auntie and uncle. Oh my God, how romantic. Child, anyway, I don't have much to say about this scene. They were talking about the new development and challenges. Child, moving on. I'm moving on. So Jalen just brought his first condo. And what I love about the situationship, Jalen didn't go buy the most expensive condo in Huntsville that he could find. Jalen bought a fixer-upper. And two things that I love about this. Jalen and Kimmi are working on the fixer-upper. So Kimmi was in there saying, listen, you got to pull this out. You got to pull that out. The cabinets need to be replaced. So on one end, these are valuable memories that you're building with your mom, you know, in your adulthood, which I think is absolutely dope as hell. And number two, Jalen is interested in real estate and flipping. So he's receiving that experience through purchasing his first condo and leveraging the knowledge of his mom. I think, listen, Kimmi and Jalen, Kimmi is the single mom that I aspire to be. Very balanced. You know how to communicate. You ain't with that little high school nonsense. Like, you grown. And I hope I can be a single mother like Kimmi. Like, just grown and doing the best for my kids. And it would be nice to fall in love and find a great guy, you know, to marry me. But that's on the side. Bliss for the single being. Bliss for the single. But Kimmi is definitely my favorite lady on Love and Marriage Huntsville. So anyway, they're talking about the new condo and plans, and Jalen brings up the fact, Kimmi brings up the fact that, son, I applaud you. You are doing this, and you still have a full-time job working at the at Maurice and Letitia's Black Cigar Lounge. So they have a conversation about that, and Jalen brings up the same concerns. He says, I'm always being blamed for everything, but I haven't been adequately trained for you guys to put all of this on me. And Jalen did say, listen, I know that I am the manager, so of course the blame is going to fall on me, but at the same time, I'm not experiencing this, you know. I should have had someone train me, and I did not have that kind of training. So, and to compound the situation, Letitia and Marceau want different things. And when he said that, like, I felt it in my spirit. I was working for a job. The job had, thankfully I wasn't there long. I was there like a good 6 or 7 months. But the job had 4 CEOs. So I had to report to 4 different people. I had to prioritize the task of 4 strong personalities. That is hard. That is hard. So when Jalen said, Letitia's telling me one thing and Marceau was telling one thing, I said, listen, I understand how difficult that would be. And on the top of that, apparently Marceau is running this restaurant like a sweatshop. You know what I mean? Jalen works 6 days without a break. I'm like, child, where they do that at? So Kimmi was like, I think they are setting you up for failure. And at first, I was like, yeah, Kimmi, yeah, that's what they're doing. But I'm like, is it setting Jalen up for failure? Or is Marceau really trying to get over on cheap labor? I say Marceau's trying to get off on get over with the cheap labor. So I'm looking like, this is gonna be very interesting to see where this all falls. But Jalen, I will say, young man, I stand with you. It's bullshit. So it's the Black Chocolate in a Bottle launch, and the cast of Ready to Love Houston was there. And then we see Tommy, and then we see his pretty wife. She is so pretty. And I'm still mad at the fact that they build Ready to Love Houston as a co-hosting situationship. So I thought I was going to see Tommy. I thought I was going to see Tommy's wife just as much as I saw Tommy. That really wasn't the case. We saw her, 2, maybe 3 episodes. I think 3 episodes is doing too much. But child, anyway, Tommy was there. Tommy's having conversation with the Scots, you know, talking Black excellence and talking Black business, you know what I mean? And then we get to a point where we see Marcel and Kaira. Kaira is introducing herself to Marcel. And it was a very weird vibe. It was strange. It was strange because they're introducing themselves, but the energy that Kaira is giving me during this scene this is more than an introduction. This is how you do it. Like, it was weird. And Letitia actually picks up on this weirdness, and then she goes over to Marcel, was like, hey, and she snatches Marcel up right quick. And I'm like, Letitia, you are not my favorite person, but in this scene, you gave exactly what you were supposed to give. Girl, go get your husband, because it seems like Kaira was ready to pounce. And I was having a conversation with my friend, and my friend said, oh, they interviewed Kaira, and Kaira said it wasn't true. She wasn't trying to push up. But of course, what else is Kaira going to say? Number one. And number two, Kaira left a very bad taste in my mouth from Ready to Love Houston. So she has character issues. So I'm never going to believe what Kaira says. All I can say is, as a viewer, looking from the outside in, Kaira seemed attracted to Marcel, and Marcel seemed just as attracted to Kaira, but he was pulling back. Letitia takes Marcel over to the side. They're having a conversation, and Letitia says, you know, I saw that girl in the red dress. You mean Kaira? Letitia, you know her name. Say her name, say her name. You know her name. She says, the girl in the red dress, she was eyeing you, giving you the eye. And Marcel's like, oh my God, like, look at this again. All right, Marcel. All right, you can go ahead and gaslight Letitia. But as a woman, I will say Letitia saw something. So don't do that. Don't do that. Don't make it seem like Letitia is like pulling shit out of her ass when you know what you're doing. That's what I'm going to say. You know what you're doing. But Letitia was speaking to Marcel, and she started crying. And I said, it was weird because Letitia crying was kind of a severe reaction. All right, you see your husband and another woman talking. You don't understand the dynamic. You don't like the dynamic. You break shit up. That's one thing. But for her to cry as she's having a conversation with Marcel about Kaira struck me as odd. It struck me as there's a lot more there that's not being revealed in this scene. And I'm going to leave it at that. Listen, Love and Marriage Huntsville continues to be that show. If you're new here, please subscribe to the Beanie Pie Gang. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And on top of that, put the button, the bell. So as soon as my Love and Marriage Huntsville reviews go up, you can watch and you can help a sister out. Wishing you guys love, peace, and joy. I'm about to head out to Brooklyn to spend some amazing quality time with my cousins. Peace out, guys. Bye.